and good evening, race fans, and welcome back for another exciting round of Midwest Formula One action. We are here for round 6 at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're getting ready for qualifying here as the cars get their setups, get their tires that they want to run on, and get headed out on track. You can see a Mercedes of Jonathan Dunk ready to try to set some laps here. Looks like he is first out on track, followed right behind by the Haas of M. Galloway. The Hungaroring is a 4.38 kilometer track, or 2.72 miles for you Americans. The current track layout, so to speak, has been used since 2003. Usually has some pretty exciting action here. There's a lot of, I guess, high-speed corners, but there isn't a whole ton of overtaking opportunities. The main ones being down the pit straight into turn 1, and then the following DRS section down into turn 2. So we'll see just what happens here today. Dunk is getting close to the end of his outlap here as he heads through turn 12, followed closely by the Haas of M. Galloway. M. Galloway looking to maybe get a tow off of Dunk here. So we'll hang out with the Mercedes here as he starts his first hot lap, in the first hot lap of the session. Down the hill towards turn 1. We saw a crazy crash here with Valtteri earlier this season. So hopefully no turn 1 shenanigans. Dunk comes into that quick left-handed turn 2. This is an interesting section here. We'll hop on board. Nails it. Very clean. That curb on the right side is pretty deadly, so you want to make sure you stay away from that one. Heads through the quick chicane here. Gigantic curbs on that one, so that can definitely unsettle a car. It looks like M. Galloway might have backed out. He dove back into the pits here. Purple sectors for Jonathan Dunk. So he'll be the first one to set a lap, and hopefully he can stick it to the top permanently for qualifying here as he rounds turn 14 down the pit straight. Jonathan Dunk in the Mercedes with a 1:15.245. That is the time to beat right now. I can see a Ferrari coming around. That is VTEC. He'll go second fastest with a 1:17, quickly followed by Murph Selly with a 1:15.789 as an Alfa Romeo comes around as well. Must have invalidated. He'll need to take another trip around. We got Suttle going second fastest with a 1:15.676 in the Red Bull Honda. And Aston Martin coming around the final corner. Looks like he's starting another hot lap. I'm going to butcher this, but D-Ace going fastest with a 1:14.543 in the Williams. Nicky going third fastest with a 1:15.6 in the McLaren. Adel going sixth fastest in the Aston Martin. You can see a Williams coming around again. Just starting a hot lap, that is Niru. An Alpine coming around the final corner. Trying to catch up with all these drivers here. Sefron, seventh fastest in the Alpine with a 1:16.640. Another McLaren coming around. That's LFR. In ninth position, he's definitely going to want to improve on that one. 1:38.278 in the McLaren. Looks like LFR Meisen is also just starting his next hot lap here as he heads down into turn 2. The AlphaTauri taking a wide line and he loses it. Oh, majorly unfortunate for the AlphaTauri. Luckily not busting off a wheel, but he is missing the entire front end of his car, so he'll need to take another slow in lap here. Get those mechanics working hard to get him back out in time for qualifying. Alright. SZS going 11th fastest in the Haas. Williams just came across the line. I believe that was Niru. It was going second fastest with a 1:15.060. Williams 1-2 so far in qualifying, as LFR Enrique comes across the line going 9th fastest with a 1:16. Major improvement over his previous hot lap. The AlphaTauri of LFR Meisen going into the pits, get his car fixed and hopefully get out in time. Looks like Hammer 383 coming across the line in the Ferrari 1:15. He'll go 1/10 quicker, 1.5 tenths quicker than his previous hot lap, sitting in P4. You can see an Aston Martin coming in very quickly here. That's Hightower. Alright, we got an Alfa Romeo coming around. That'll be Monkey Mo. Whoa! Fuse getting a little squirrely there. He, I'm assuming, well, maybe not. I was going to say he touched that inside curb, but it was quite a bit after the exit, so just a loss of traction there, unfortunately. Monkey Mafia going 14th fastest so far with a 1:17.501 in the Alfa Romeo. Can see another Mercedes coming around. That'll be Jonathan Dunk. He's on an outlap again. We got a Red Bull Tiger NASCAR on an outlap. Getting those tires warmed up as he heads around the final turn. Pick up some speed going down the pit straight here. We'll hop on board the Red Bull as he begins his hot lap here. We'll stick on board through turn 1. Oh, and he loses the back end, followed closely by a Williams and an Alpine. See, he'll just hold tight for a second, and he'll need to take another trip around to get a hot lap in. 1 of 4 drivers left to set a hot lap. Can see a Haas coming around the line. That is M. Galloway. We'll hang out with Galloway for a moment as he begins his first timed lap here. Oh, and we have a crashed Williams by the looks of it. Hop on board with Monkey Mafia. Niru unfortunately losing it through that quick left-hander and making contact with the wall. Jonathan Dunk with a 1:13.909 in the Mercedes. That is the quickest time so far. Edging out the Williams by about 0.6 of a second. Great improvement by the Mercedes driver. M. Galloway yet to set a hot lap. So he's only got a few more turns to go. We'll see where he ends up on the leaderboard. Coming through turn 14. He should have a good time here. The Haas of M. Galloway crossing the line, going 7th fastest with a 1:15.714. There is quite a few medium tire runners there, as you can see. The top 7 running the softs, and from 8th through 15th, all on the medium tire. Got some quick medium tire runners here. You can see an AlphaTauri coming around. That'll be LFR Maizen. Yet to set a time, and he'll go 3rd fastest with a 1:14.684. Great lap by the AlphaTauri. LFR Enrique just beginning his next hot lap here. Do see another Red Bull coming around. Alright, that's NASCAR. Unfortunately invalidated. Alright, that's set S. Smith. He'll go 4th fastest with a 1:14.984. His teammate M. Galloway diving into the pits. Great lap by the Haas of Smith. Alright, looks like the next across the line is going to be Hammer, 383 in the Ferrari. He was about 1/10 up at the end of the second sector. As he comes through turn 14, we'll see just where he ends up as he gets on the power. Late to get that wing open. He'll go 7th fastest. Unfortunately, 5/10 down on his time. Murph Selly just beginning his next hot lap in the Alpine. Alright, Nicky in the McLaren moving himself up a spot into P7 with a 1:15.283. Quite a few cars out on track at the moment. Guys trying to get, maybe get a tow. Checking in with the pit wall, Monkey Mafia looking to be clear weather for the race, so these guys may not have too much grief as far as weather goes. Oh, and Nicky runs into some traffic. I don't know if he was on a hot lap or not. We've got a crashed Ferrari. I think that was Hammer, unfortunately. Quite a few cars crashed out already. Forza on an out lap, getting some heat into those tires. Jonathan Dunk still hanging on to provisional pole with 4.5 minutes remaining here in qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Alright, as he crosses the line to start his hot lap. Down the hill into turn 1. Coming up quick on an Alpine. A good exit there. That is a tricky corner to get the traction down. A lot of chaos as we saw earlier this year in Formula 1. Gets through that quick downhill right-hander. Oh, and he loses it. Right in the exact same spot as Sefron. Murph Selly almost colliding with them as well. Absolute chaos, and it looks like Dace lost it coming out of the chicane and destroyed Williams there off the track. As Sefron and M. Galloway are colliding here, I think. There's a lot of close traffic here. Galloway was a little ways off track, but he's setting a purple second sector. Really moving that Haas. Is he looking to steal pole away from Jonathan Dunk? He won't quite get it done, but he'll move from 11th up into P6, going 6/10ths quicker than his previous fastest lap. Great job by M. Galloway. All right, we got Forza coming around. P12, he won't improve. Oh, he was about 20 seconds off his time. So he'll take another trip around the track here. 2.5 minutes remain. We'll check on the tire strategies here. Quite a few more soft tires to start the race here. The top 10, for those unfamiliar with Formula One, the top 10 will have to start the race on the tire that they qualified quickest on. The bottom 10 can choose their tire strategy as they please. So it's definitely always a major strategy to kind of try to find that line between starting position and starting tire. So we'll see just how this pans out for the racers here today in round 6 of the Midwest Formula One Series. We've had 5 different winners here so far this season. In Murph Selly winning round 1 in Spain. Gulrud winning round 2 in Monaco, tricky track. Tiger NASCAR taking round 3 in Brazil. Round 4 going to Fuse in Bahrain. And last week going to Niru in Zandvoort behind the Williams racing team. So we'll see if that changes this evening in Hungary. Moving himself up into P10 for Alfa Romeo. Making those softs work for him. Fuse bumping himself up into P13 for Alfa Romeo. Great qualifying here by those two. Jonathan Dunk on another hot lap here. That'll be his last one of the session. Miles Galloway crashing off track here. Or just retiring actually on track. My apologies. LFR Enrique getting the best of the track limits there as he comes through the chicane. We'll see what his time is here at the end of Sector 2. Eight tenths up on his time. That does have the possibility to move him up a little bit. NASCAR, Tiger NASCAR bumping himself up into P6. As LFR rounds the final corner in the McLaren. He'll go from P17 to P15. Dunk improves his time by 4 tenths with the 1:13.580. Just to solidify that pole position for Mercedes. And I believe that'll do it here for qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Hightower diving into the pits for Aston Martin, and that'll do it. As we wait for the final retirements here. It looks like Niru is atop the driver's standings with 356 points, followed by Murph Selly and Houdini. Jonathan Dunk taking pole position here with a 1:13.580. Great work by him. Second is D-Ace. Third, LFR Meisen. Fourth goes to Murph Selly in the Alpine. Fifth, SZS Smith, Tiger NASCAR, M. Galloway, Forza, Niru, and Subtle round out the top 10. 11th goes to Hightower, P12 Monkey Mafia, Nikki, 8 Eltonian. 15th is LFR Enrique, 16th Fuse, Hammer, Saffron, VTech, and I didn't check the last one there. Alright, nice and sunny here for the start of the race as the teams get their final setups in place. Picking up, figuring out fuel loads and which tires they're going to start the race on. The top 10, as I mentioned before, will start the race on the tire that they qualified quickest on. So we'll see where the tire strategies land. As we saw in qualifying, quite a few issues on track with spinning and things like that. So we'll see, hopefully not too many retirements today, but there could be some safety cars and a little bit of chaos, which for the most part makes for good viewership, at least. Maybe not what everybody wants, but it does happen. Just a few more moments and we will be getting the cars to the grid to start the formation lap. Looks like so far Williams is leading the Constructors' Championship with 461 points, closely followed by Red Bull with 458, and Alpine in third with 436 points. So quite a close spread through the top bit of the field. So quite a bit of jumping around can happen between now and the end of the season. Looks like the countdown timer is done. So we will have Dunk lead away the pack here, followed by Ace and the Williams. It'll be interesting to see how many overtakes do happen today. As you can see, the top 10 starting on the softs, and we got a medium, soft, medium, a couple, few hard tire runners, with a couple more softs and mediums mixed into that bottom half of the grid. So this should be an interesting start. They're about halfway through the formation lap here. Predicted pit stop strategies brought to you by AWS. A one-stop soft to hard, or a two-stop with the soft, medium, and another set of mediums. Obviously that'll change for the guys not starting on the softs, but gives you a good idea how long the tires can last here around the Hungaroring. The Mercedes rounding the final corner to head out to the grid. The pack staying quite close together. Alright, the final car is coming to the grid. We're getting ready to race here. 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. We're racing here in Hungary as Dunk gets a good launch here. Cars going 2 and 3 wide into turn 1. Ooh, Mercedes almost into the back, just like Valtteri. Pretty clean, but it looks of it through turn 1. Bit of a lock up there. The Red Bull of Tiger hunting down Niru. Niru running a little bit wide. Oh, we got a spun McLaren. That's Nicky and an Aston Martin. We've got a VSC about halfway through lap 1 here. We're 2 cars down. Unfortunately, as I said, Nicky and the Aston Martin of Adeltonian. And then there were 18. The AlphaTauri of LFR Meisen taking over the lead from Jonathan Dunk. Led by D-Ace and Murph Selly. Murph Selly diving into the pits here. Taking a free pit stop early on in the race. He'll lose a few spots, but nothing too crazy. So Mercelli will drop quite a ways down the pack as his teammate comes in as well for a brand new wing. Obviously some issues on the opening lap. New mediums, new softs for Mercelli. They'll quickly catch up to the pack here. Alright, looks... we kind of got the timing screen figured out here, but... quite a few position changes. Heytight Gaming going up 8 spots in the AlphaTauri. Forza up 4. So some good position changes early on in the race. Hopefully the timing screen gets itself figured out right away here. Alright, looks like we'll have one more lap under the safety car by the looks of it. Monkey Mafia diving into the pits in the Alfa Romeo. As is Murph Selly again. Quite surprisingly. Murph Selly going from softs to hards. Quite interesting. Monkey Mafia getting a new wing and some new medium tires. So obviously working out some different strategies here with their engineers. Murph Selly wasn't liking the softs. So I don't know if he's going to look to push those till the end of the race, but we'll see what happens. So quick recap, LFR Meisen in first place, Jonathan Dunk in second in the Mercedes, DA sitting in P3 in the Williams, Forza at P4, so we got a 2-4 so far for Mercedes. SLS Smith sitting in P5, Niru in the Alpine in P6, or sorry, the other Williams. Tiger NASCAR, P7, M. Galloway in 8th, 9th is Subtle, and 10th is Hightower running at the top half of the grid. Haytite and Hammer almost having an issue there as the safety car queue here is slowed right up. Meisen trying to get a good jump here, trying to throw everybody off their game. The timing board, unfortunately, still having some technical difficulties. But we'll see if that gets rectified shortly. Oh no, Hammer getting a severe penalty for a collision with Haytite. That's an unfortunate 5-second penalty. We got a close battle here going into turn 1. LFR was looking to make a move on Fuse there, but couldn't quite get it done as they head down into turn 2. LFR is on the slightly quicker tire, being the mediums versus the hards, but Fuse showing some good pace here. Alright, looks like our timing board figured itself out, so we'll hopefully be able to catch some of these battles here. Haytite sitting in P11. NASCAR only 3/10 back of Niru here. Niru right on the gearbox of SZS as well. Cars are staying pretty close together here after the restart. We've got a spun McLaren. Oh, and some major contact there. Jonathan Dung setting the fastest lap of the 118.121. VTEC missing the whole front end of the Ferrari. So that's an unscheduled pit stop, unfortunately, for him. Looks like Subtle was trying to make a move here on M. Galloway. Oh, Niru unfortunately crashed. We've got a full course safety car. I didn't quite catch it, just the aftermath of that heavy shunt Niru suffered in the Williams. Marshall's working pretty quick to clean that car up off the track here. So this'll we're on our second safety car here in 5 laps. The leader diving into the pits, as are the rest of the top 6, and others behind him as well. Dunk swapping out to a set of mediums. Double stacking the Mercedes there with Forza right behind him. A lot of cars in the pits, double stacking the Haas cars as well. Mediums for both of the Haas cars, so practically the entire field has pitted on the safety car. That helps VTEC with that earlier incident coming around turn 13 there, missing the whole front of his wings. That'll give him an opportunity to catch back up with the field. Looks like LFR Meisen's got some fans out there cheering on the AlphaTauri driver, currently sitting in P8. Oh no! And VTech pushing a little hard under the safety car, unfortunately loses it. Missing the right end plate off his front wing, so he'll need to take another unscheduled pit stop as well. If he can make up some time here, he may still be able to catch up with the grid before the safety car comes in. But this could be devastating to VTech's race, as the pair of Ferraris currently sitting in P16 and 17. Haytite diving into the pits, or at least it showed he was, sorry. Tiger NASCAR diving into the pits for Red Bull, losing quite a few spots here. So a late call for the pit stops there. Mediums seem to be the go-to tire. The top 5-6 drivers pretty much on their original tires. Mind you, VTech unfortunately retiring in the pits. So that'll do it for that Ferrari driver, unfortunately. Your current leader is Hightower in the Aston Martin, followed by Haytite Gaming and Fuse in the Alfa Romeo. Merv Selly sitting in P4 in the Alpine. 5th is Monkey Mafia. 6th is Saffron. LFR Meisen sitting P7. P8, Jonathan Dunk. 9th is D-Ace. 10th is SZS. 11th is Subtle. 12th Forza. Miles Galloway sitting in P13. 14th is Hammer 383. Tiger sitting in P15, and P16 is LFR Enrique. Hightower setting the pace here. As he round the final turn onto the pit straight. Tries to get a good jump. Haytite sticking with him. Getting that slipstream down into turn 1. Looks pretty clean through turn 1 so far. Too wide here going through turn 1. Tiger trying to get a run on Hammer. Hammer's taking the inside line. Oh! And Hammer spins. I don't know if there was contact there. Unfortunate for Hammer and the Ferrari missing an end plate. He'll need to take another unscheduled pit stop. A lot of chaos here in the opening laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Some good racing so far. We got a spun McLaren. Oh, we got some chaos. My apologies, I missed it. 2 cars off track. Some more collisions in the 3rd sector. It looks like those cars are okay though, by the looks of it. Haytite getting his elbows out, going down the inside of Hightower, and he'll take over P1. Great move by the AlphaTauri. Getting a little loose there on the exit. Some pretty close gaps here. A lot of good racing so far. LFR looking to make up a position here on Monkey Mafia, putting the pressure on. Oh, we've got a spun Mercedes. That is Forza. Forza taking a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with M. Galloway. DRS is enabled for the first time this race, I believe. So we'll hopefully see some overtakes here. Dunk looking down the inside of Meisen. He's going to take the outside line. And he'll stick it. Moving up into P6. DA's hanging pretty close here to the back of the AlphaTauri as well. Hoping the move by Dunk kind of rattled him a little bit. Maintaining that 2 to 3 tenths of a gap. LFR taking a penalty for exceeding track limits. Pushing hard to try and get that spot back from Dunk. We'll see some DRS down the pit straight here. A bit of a train, there's a lot of close gaps here, so practically everybody will have DRS. Dunk making a push here, goes down the inside of Monkey Mafia. And he'll take over P5. As they all get DRS headed down into turn 2 as well. It's like Meisen was looking to make a move. Couldn't quite get it done. Oh, and he goes down the inside. What a move by LFR. Saw a window and jumped through it. Oh no. That is Hay-Tight Gaming. Missing his entire front wing. We got a VSC. He managed to kind of recover it quite well, actually. Obviously some front end damage to the car, but all 4 wheels still intact, so he'll dive into the pits here. Get a new front wing quickly before the green flag gets waved again. As everybody will be under their safety car queue, or VSC queue I should say. Hay-Tight and Forza both in the pits. Should be going green any moment now. So there'll be a bit of a shootout here right as the lights go green. Everyone pushing their deltas. Alright, we are green again. DRS back on. Oh no, and Hay-Tight losing it. On the exit of corner 3. Majorly unfortunate for the AlphaTauri driver. It was right after the VSC. Oh, and D-Ace losing it as well. Absolute pandemonium here on the VSC restart. Looks like the Williams actually is... The car looks to be intact. Forza losing it as well. Dunk made a move through turn 2 on Murph Selly, moving himself up into a podium position on lap 13 of 35 here. Murph Selly not giving up though, still putting that push on. LFR Meisen's right on the gearbox of the Alpine. Dunk only 2/10 back of Fuse. Looking to make up another position here. He's going to get DRS down the pit straight, as Fuse will not. See, he'll make a good run. Fuse blocking that inside line. Dunk will take the outside. And he'll get the move done in turn 1. Gain DRS again and try to pull away a little bit. Try to catch up to Hightower. NASCAR looking at the back of the Haas here, trying to get a move done on him as well. A lot of close racing here on the opening laps. We've currently got 5 drivers, unfortunately, out of the race so far. Hopefully no more, but a crazy one to say the least. As they come around turn 13 here. Dunk put a big gap, getting the fastest lap here, 1:17.874. He goes down the inside. Hightower tries to hang on, but won't quite do it. Jonathan Dunk will take the lead here on lap 15 of round 6. Midwest Formula 1 Series. LFR will take P4 away from Murph Selly. As he takes a 3-second time penalty. Currently the only driver on the grid at the moment with a penalty. He's got 2 track limits penalties, so a total of 6 seconds. Ace making up a spot on the Alpine, moving himself up into P11. We got a spun Mercedes. That is Forza coming out of turn 1. Really heating up those hards. As Hammer comes around and tries to close that gap a little bit to P14. And Forza lost it again, unfortunately. Dunk is still improving his time. 1:17.780 is the current fastest lap here. Dunk's teammate Forza having a bit of grief in the Mercedes, unfortunately, early on. Lots of close gaps still. Everyone really pushing each other. Hop on board the AlphaTauri of LFR. As you can see, Fuse really hunting down Hightower there. Oh no! D-Ace unfortunately retires. Coming through that fast turn 4. And we have another safety car here. Lap 16 of the Hungarian Grand Prix. You can see the wreckage of the Williams there. Some more pit stops here. The Mercedes have done currently on the mediums. And he'll swap onto the hards to finish, hopefully, his final stint. Quite a few drivers opting to dive into the pits. So luckily for some of the drivers with a little bit of grief earlier on in the race, they can breathe a sigh of relief here as the bunch will get backed up. And it looks like Forza is out of the race as well. So now we're down to one Mercedes. A lot of chaos here today. Murph Selly taking over the lead. I'll get the tires up here. See how old these are. 13 lap old hards and 13 lap old mediums at the top of the grid here. Subtle in the Red Bull and 10 lap old mediums. The rest of the pack practically pitting except for Sefron. That's a pretty bold move here to not pit while everybody else was, but maybe betting on... Oh, Sefron, severe... Oh no, I believe Tiger got into the back of the Alpine, giving a penalty, unfortunately. Alright, Sefron will dive into the pits, actually, and swap out those used mediums. And Tiger right behind him. Serving that 5-second penalty. Fresh mediums for Sefron and fresh hards and a new wing for Tiger NASCAR after getting into the back of the Alpine. So the drivers that pitted are looking to extend these tires to the end of the race. LFR and Hammer getting some heat into the tires there. They do need to catch up to the pack. Make sure that, that they don't get left behind. Murph Selly sticking it nice and close to the safety car there. So the top three have yet to pit. Quite a bold strategy. I mean, it can definitely be exciting to be leading the race, but they may be banking on another safety car potentially. It's hard to say. We will have one more lap at least under the safety car. As LFR Enrique and Hammer make their way to the back of the pack here and bunch the grid back up. Tiger NASCAR pitting again. I'm not sure if the engineer thought of a different strategy potentially. On a pretty fresh set of mediums by the looks of it for Tiger NASCAR, as he'll exit the pit lane and get back up to the pack. Well, the grid's pretty much bunched up now, so we should be green at the end of this lap. The safety car should come in if race control figures that is best. The two Haas drivers sitting in P8 and 9. We've now got 7 retirements here in 19 laps. Or I guess that was probably about 17 laps or so. Some major unfortunate events for those drivers. Definitely some crazy action for the race fans. Race control has confirmed the safety car is in this lap. So Murph Selly is free to set the pace for the grid as he lets the safety car get out ahead. Everyone weaving to get some heat into those tires. Bold strategy for the Alpine driver to stay out. Maybe running a bit of a block for his teammate down in P10. Monkey Mafia getting a good jump. Everyone trying to get in the slipstream as they head down into turn 1. Monkey Mafia looking down the inside, but Subtle going around. He won't quite get it done though. Oh, but Jonathan Dunk moving up into P3. Crazy restart here. Oh no, we've got Enrique off track on the restart. Looks like the McLaren's okay though. Hightower coming up in the back of the Red Bull. Oh no, and he spins and blows off his front wing. Hightower looking to do an unscheduled pit stop, unfortunately. LFR, he's still got his entire wing. So he'll make up a spot on Hightower here. Murph Selly leading. Jonathan Dunk moving himself up into P2, putting on a charge. Murph Selly is on the older tires. The Mercedes of Jonathan Dunk really putting the pressure on. Oh, and Hammer unfortunately crashing. Coming out of turn 4. And we've got a VSC, the second or third of the race, unfortunately, as the marshals work to clean up that Ferrari wreckage. Quite a big shot for Hammer. And then there were 12. Quite a few retirements here, unfortunately. Oh, and as we go green, LFR getting a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, or the VSC, sorry. And he tacks on another 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. And he will retire the AlphaTauri in the pits. And then there were 11. Absolute pandemonium here in the Hungarian Grand Prix. All sorts of stuff happening. Dunk chasing down Murph Selly, wanting to take the lead. Tiger only 2/10 back of Sefron. Looking to make a move on the Alpine. I missed it. Fuse getting by his teammate Monkey. Monkey does have some pretty worn medium tires. Surprisingly didn't pit earlier. Okay, Tiger making a move and he gets by Saffron. I can't find him. There he is. I unfortunately missed it. But Tiger NASCAR moving up into P7 for Red Bull. A great move down in through turn 1. The two Haas drivers sitting P5 and 6. LFR having some grief there. We've got a spun McLaren, that'll be Enrique. Just a moment here, fans. Got an AI out on track, unfortunately. Enrique sitting in P11. Oh, we're almost losing it. Those hard tires are not doing the McLaren any favors. Jonathan Dunk hanging on to first place here. The gaps are starting to open up ever so slightly with about 11 laps remaining here in the Hungarian Grand Prix. M. Galloway about 5/10 back of Monkey Mafia on significantly newer tires. So I don't know if the Haas driver was hoping for a safety car. Settle making a move on his teammate down the pit straight with the help of DRS, I believe. Galloway still pushing the Alfa Romeo of Monkey, trying to make up that spot. Monkey doing a good job at hanging on to those tires. I don't imagine he'll be able to push those to the end of the race, but I could be wrong. Dunk slowly opening up that gap to P2. Oh no! I don't know what happened, but Dunk is missing the whole front end of the Mercedes. This could be absolutely devastating. I didn't see him spun until it was too late, so a new front wing and a brand new set of softs for the Mercedes. Hopefully the team can get that done quick so Dunk can get back out there. Galloway making the move. Racing Monkey Mafia down into turn 2 and he'll take it. Monkey Mafia sitting in a Haas sandwich, unfortunately. We got a spun Alfa Romeo. Oh! Almost chaos there. Luckily no damage is done. SZS looking to make up the spot and follow his teammate. So we've got alternating Haas and Alfa Romeo cars from P2 through P4. We've got a spun McLaren. That is Enrique. Unfortunately, those hard tires just are not suiting the McLaren well. Having a bit of grief there. Murph Selly currently with a 7.8 second lead on second place. Dunk back in P9, looking to make some time up here. SZS Smith in P4 getting a little bit closer to Monkey Mafia here as they get DRS headed down into turn 2. Closest gaps on track right here. Oh no, and the McLaren of LFR Enrique loses it. Smith nearly making contact with the wreckage. Carbon fiber everywhere. No safety car, surprisingly. As we have 8 laps remaining here in round 6 of the Midwest Formula 1 Series. Fuse still hunting down Smith here, looking to make a move. Dunk is slowly closing that gap. He was about 8 seconds earlier on in the lap, so he's gaining about roughly 2 seconds a lap here. As Fuse runs down the inside, and he'll make up a spot on Smith. Smith running a little bit wide there, exceeding track limits. Dunk getting the fastest lap here of 1:15.746. I believe that's about 2 seconds quicker than his previous fastest lap, if I recall correctly. Oh no, and Saffron loses it. As you can see, the Alpine there wrecked on track. Tiger NASCAR taking a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Looks like the Alpine also doesn't cause a safety car. Maybe we're too late in the race or something. Hard to say. Dunk taking a big chunk out of the gap here, putting on a charge after having a mishap there earlier on in the race. Fuse running down the inside of his teammate Monkey Mafia into turn 1, and he'll take over P3. Settled going into the pits for a brand new set of softs on the Red Bull for his final stint here. 6 laps remaining. Jonathan Dunk up into P7. We got a P3 and 4 running of Alfa Romeo. But SZS Smith is fighting back here, wanting to get that spot back. Murph Selly currently with an 8-second lead on M. Galloway. The Alpine doing well up there in P1 in the clean air. Fused right into the gearbox of M. Galloway. Don't recall. I'm just going to check the tires here. Galloway is on 11 lap old hards. Fuse getting a good run down the pit straight here, and he'll take over P2. Monkey Mafia not too far behind. Monkey Mafia on 26 lap old mediums, really pushing those tires to the absolute limit. We'll see if he can last those till the end of the race here. gap still remaining pretty close here from P2 to P5. Dunk still mounting a heck of a charge here. 5 laps remaining. Murph Selly still hanging on to an 8-second lead. M. Galloway the only one within DRS range here as they approach the pit straight. Smith getting into DRS range as well on the Alfa Romeo ahead of him. Oh, M. Galloway fell out, but his teammate Smith does not, trying to stay in the slipstream of Monkey Mafia there. Dunk going down the inside of Tiger NASCAR, and he'll make up a spot on the Red Bull. Jonathan Dunk up into P6. Fuse taking a little bit of a chunk out of that gap, about 0.6 of a second on his charge to get up to P1 here. Smith only about 0.4 back of Monkey Mafia. Significantly newer tires. About half the wear on his. We've got a spun Alfa Romeo. That is Fuse. Oh no. Oh, Dunk almost makes contact here as he spins around. Fuse have an issue getting that car back on track. Almost chaotic. Everyone narrowly avoids the car on track there. So unfortunately, Fuse will drop from P2 down to P7. That promotes the Haas of M. Galloway up into P2 and Monkey Mafia into P3. Jonathan Dunk not too far behind. He's still hunting that podium position. 3.5 laps remaining here. These are the closest gaps on track here. Only 9 drivers remain. Smith gets a little wide onto the grass there as he's got the Mercedes in his mirrors. Smith runs a little bit wide. Dunk goes down the inside. Heck of a move. Nice late break by the Mercedes on those fresh softs. Unfortunately, Smith couldn't defend. Dunk getting DRS, looking to move himself up into a podium position here. The Alfa Romeo Monkey using all of his ERS, trying to stick it on the outside. And the Mercedes of Jonathan Dunk will move up into P3 here with 2 laps remaining. We've got an Aston Martin spun, that'll be Hightower. Looks like the car is okay though. Monkey Mafia is still sticking into the back of the Mercedes here, with Smith getting quite a bit closer. Monkey Mafia just trying to fend him off for a few more laps here to hang on to those points near the top of the grid. Tiger NASCAR is coming up quick here on Smith. Hightower dove into the pits, possibly for a new fresh set of softs, trying to maybe steal the fastest lap point from Jonathan Dunk. Got a spun Alfa Romeo, that is Fuse again, in the exact same spot as last time. As Settle closes that gap, looking to make up into P7 here. Oh, and Smith goes down the inside. Monkey Mafia just edges out. wheel to wheel here through turn 2. And he'll get by, and Tiger NASCAR is looking to make a move as well. And they both get by. Unfortunately, Monkey Mafia just trying to stick those tires out maybe just a little bit too long. Jonathan Dunk only 6/10 back of M. Galloway here with only a lap and a half to go. Murph Selly with a commanding almost, or now 11-second lead over the Haas behind him. He's got 1 lap to go here in the Alpine. He just needs to hang on to it for a little bit longer. Jonathan Dunk just behind the Haas of M. Galloway. He'll get DRS down the pit straight here and look to make a move down into turn 1. Galloway gets a good exit. And it looks like Dunk... Oh, he forgot to open up his DRS. Dunk lost a ton of time down the pit straight. Tiger still mounting a battle against SZS Smith. Asker only a 10th back, now 2/10. Murph Selly nearing the finish line here. As Murph Selly comes around turn 13 and into turn 14 here. Murph Selly and Alpine will take the win here in Hungary. M. Galloway rounding the corner, held off Jonathan Dunk just that little bit long. And M. Galloway will take second with Jonathan Dunk taking third. Monkey Mafia in fourth. Tiger NASCAR will take 5th. SZS Smith will be demoted down into P6, I believe, with penalties. Subtle but Whole will come across the line in 7th for Red Bull. That's a P5 and 7 for Red Bull. Fuse P8. LFR Misen is still a AI, I believe. And Hightower will take P9, if I understand that correctly. So a fantastic win by Murph Selly. The pit stop strategies worked for him. A late unwanted pit stop, I guess you could say, by Jonathan Dunk. Mounted a fantastic battle all the way back up into P3. M. Galloway fighting him off in those last couple laps to take a P2 for Haas. And Hightower will cross the line for Aston Martin in the points. And the driver of the day, voted by the fans, goes to Fuse of Alfa Romeo. What an incredible race here in Hungary. A ton of DNFs, a lot of action and drama. And Murph Selly will take the win for Alpine as he jumps up onto the top step and takes his trophy. M. Galloway on the second step and Jonathan Dunk up there as well. The celebratory spray of champagne. Absolute craziness here at the Hungaroring. Exciting nonetheless. With the win going to Murph Selly, P2 is M. Galloway, Jonathan Dunk taking third, and the fastest lap with a 1:15.746 in the Mercedes. Monkey Mafia going P4, P5 going to Tiger NASCAR, and SZS Smith taking P6, them both going down due to penalties, unfortunately. Subtle but Whole, P7, P8 going to Fuse, P9 showing LFR Misen. I'm not sure if that'll stand. and Hightower taking P10 for Aston Martin. Sefron, Enrique, Hammer, Ace, Forza, Haytight, VTEC, Niru, Adel, and Nikki all DNFing, unfortunately. A lot of crashes, a lot of work for the Marshals today. But a great drive by everyone nonetheless. Thank you very much for joining us here for round 6 of the Midwest Formula 1 series. Absolute fantastic racing. Stop back here and check out the action again next week. Thanks for tuning in.